Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another video from inside the Eve Echo's final test. Today I wanted to talk to you all about sniper vessels, which are special ships with a unique activatable sniper mode. Most of these are tech level 6 destroyers, though there are a couple of sniper cruisers as well, which we will touch upon briefly. This video is mainly going to focus on the Caldari Corax sniper, but we will also take a look at the other Empire's sniper ships as well. Now, if you do enjoy this video or find it useful, let me know by hitting like on it and subscribe to the channel for all things Eve Echoes, making sure to ding that notification bell so that you know when the next video goes live as soon as it does so. If you've got a particular topic you'd like to see me cover, a ship you'd like me to look at, or a question you'd like me to answer, do let me know down in the comment section below, or by coming and finding me on social media as shown along the bottom of the screen now, especially the Cat Skull Cartel Discord. The public channels there are full of a load of very friendly people who will gladly help you out in any way they can. Speaking of help, if you do want to go the extra mile and help support this channel, please come join me on Patreon. Every single pledge and donation really does help keep this channel going. It helps keep me alive with food on the table and electricity in the meter. Anyway, that said and done, let's talk about sniper ships. Now, first and foremost, what actually is a sniper ship? Well, if you activate the sniper mode, you'll see that basically, in long and short of it, is that it will make your ship incredibly slow. It pretty much locks it in position by reducing its movement speed by 99%, but it does almost double, well, actually, it does double the target distance for most of the weapons, whether that's missiles or turrets. Drones get a 75% increase to their drone control range. It also increases the damage of those weapons by 50%, but does drop their tracking or the explosion velocity in case of missiles. In long terms made short, it basically means that you can shoot a lot further, though you do shoot less frequently, and you do slightly higher damage with those shots. It does exactly what you would expect a sniper to do, essentially. Anyway, so let's actually have a look at the Corax sniper itself and see what it is. Now, of course, it is a destroyer-class ship, tech level 6, as I've already mentioned, with 4 high slots, 3 mid slots, 3 low slots, and 2 of each of the rig categories. It's got a roll bonus as well of 25% missile torpedo velocity increase. Now, for every skill that you have in advanced small missile torpedo upgrade, you'll get an additional 7.5% small missile torpedo damage and 10% small missile torpedo explosion velocity, which of course just means you do more damage to targets and you can hit smaller ones better. For every point you have in Advanced Destroyer Command, you will also get a 7.5% increase to Stasis Webifier optimal range and a 7.5% increase to Energy Nosferatu optimal range. Kind of useless on a sniper because both of those are very short-range modules, and as we said, snipers are kind of designed to shoot from a distance. But basically, what you may be thinking at the moment is, hang on a sec, Benzie, that looks just like the standard Corax, but it's got an extra slot on it. Why would I go for this over, say, the Corax Assault, or just the standard Corax if it costs more? It's that sniper mode. Ultimately, the only difference between this and a standard Corax is that it's got 1 additional high slot, and it's got that sniper mode. And the same with the Assault. The Assault gets an additional slot in the Assault mode, but that's something that we'll cover in another video. So ultimately, it comes down to basically a ship that has a decent amount of missile stats and can shoot from a very long range. As such, of course, what are our fittings going to be? Are we going to go for torpedoes? No. We are going to go for small missile launchers. Why small missile launchers? Well, if you've watched the Kestrel video, you'll know that small missile launchers have a longer range than torpedoes. In this case, 26.81 kilometers, because I've got Republic Fleet small missile launchers added in here. Those are pretty long range already. By time I add on the sniper bonus, they're now sitting at over 50 kilometers away, which is very, very useful. You can do missile kiting and drone kiting with these. Just do be aware that obviously you have to activate sniper mode to get that 50 kilometer range, but it does pretty much lock you in place. That 99% reduction to your ship velocity really means you can't kite with it like that. So you kind of have to activate it, fire your shots, wait until you need to kite, turn it off and kite to a range, and just sort of keep playing with that. But it can be done. But mainly this is going to be for more fleet engagements where you can just sit at the back and deal some really heavy damage or hit someone from just a lot further away than they were expecting. Now, because of those bonuses, I have put a Mark III Stasis Webifier on here, just in case anything gets up close and personal. If it does get up close and personal, obviously I can just turn sniper mode off, and I can continue to pound them at close range, lock them down with the Webifier, which, as you can see here, drops their movement speed by 47%, and of course then just the Republic Fleet small missile launchers will do their damage there. Now for the low slots, I've gone to increase the damage with a Mark V ballistic control system, just because it's extra damage to missiles. In the other slots, I've got a Mark VII small afterburner to help me keep that range, and a Mark V small shield booster. Shield booster, of course, it is a Caldari vessel, but just to prove the point, 1598 on shields, 1160 on armor, therefore this is a shield tank. Of course, you could go for a shield extender. I personally prefer shield boosters. It's just a personal thing. Rigs, ultimately for rigs, you're going to want to go mainly for things like missile damage, missile flight time, that kind of thing. Anything that adds to the range or the damage of your missiles is ultimately going to be a big point. As for the engineering rigs, on that side, possibly something like the ability to, like, the warp stabilization rigs, stop you getting locked down, something like that. But ultimately, one of the big things about this ship is that it is fairly cheap and you can do a decent amount of damage with it. Now, I don't have many, like, missiles. Well, I've got the basic missile skills, and I'm sitting at 13384. Now that mainly comes from, obviously, Advanced Small Missile Torpedo Upgrade is one you're going to want to go for first, and Advanced Destroyer Command. So let's actually have a look at those skills. So of course, if you're flying a ship like this, as it says Destroyer Command and Advanced Destroyer Command, not only do those give you a reduction to your inertia modifier and an increase to your velocity just in general, which is always nice, allows you to move, especially with a sniper, just means you can move through space that little bit faster and keep your range, you do get the bonuses for the ship itself. It's a shield tank, so shield operation skills, and it's a destroyer, so destroyer defense upgrade is always useful. Under our weapons, though, if we go down to missiles, the one you want to really get straight up, I haven't actually got, as I said, is Advanced Small Missile and Torpedo Upgrade. Now, what this does basically is, if we go into the full skills here at level 5, you can see here, it's an increase to the missile torpedo damage, a 5% increase to the flight time, which means extra range, to the velocity, which again is extra range, and extra duration for the ballistic control system activation time, which just means you get to have that thing active for longer and do more damage. On the other end of things, the standard small missile torpedo operation is just straight up damage and explosion radius. For this particular ship, though, it is the upgrade skill, that is going to be the one you want to go for more than the others. Under electronics, of course, destroyer engineering may be useful. I've sat there at 5 skill points in the basic version, and I've never needed anything else in any of the others. Anyway, so if we have a look at the ship tree, we can have a look at the other types of snipers as well. Now, I said these are all at Tech 6, so if we go to Tech 6 and across, for Minmatar, it is the Tal War Sniper. Again, same fittings at the top as you'd expect, 43322, missile torpedo velocity because it is a torpedo ship, and then if we come down further to the Advanced Destroyer Command bonus, you'll see this is where things start to differ. Whereas the Corax has the 7.5% per level increase of Stasis Weapon-Fire Optimal Range and Energy Nosferatu, here it's Stasis Weapon-Fire and a reduction to Warp Drive Signature Radius penalty, which makes this one slightly better for kiting because you can keep your distance that bit better with the with something like a Micro Warp Drive, and you just don't flag yourself up to quite the same size that the other ships would. Under the Amar Empire, let's scroll through there, again up to Tech 6, and across there it should be the Dragoon Sniper. As I mentioned earlier, the sniper add-on does affect drones as well. Turrets get a 100% increase to their range. Missiles get a 100% increase to their range, but they get a massive reduction to their firing time and to the turret tracking speed and the explosion velocity on missiles. Drones only get a 75% drone control increase. Still fairly sizable, though, let's be honest, because there's no downside for the drones, basically. So these allow you to sit right the way back and pummel things with drones, which actually is really freaking useful for PvE. You can kind of just go into an anomaly and kill things with drones while sitting upwards of like 100 kilometers away. And if you've watched my worm video from the OBT, you'll know how powerful that can be. Roll bonus, as you can see here, 12.5% drone velocity, extra drone DPS, and drone velocity for each point in advanced small drone upgrade. An Advanced Destroyer Command bonus is there as well. This time it's Energy Neutralizer and Energy Nosferatu. So you can see there's kind of a bit of a circle going on here. Some of them share with the others. Finally then, of course, is the Galente tree. Up at Tech 6 you will have the Algos Sniper, which is actually one of my favourites, and I'd probably do a video on this one on its own because I love this ship to pieces. This is here, again, very similar in its stats to the Dragoon Sniper, but it's got Energy Neutralizer and Warp Disruptor. So you kind of get a bit of a variety there going on with different types. Now, of course, as well, I did mention that there are sniper cruisers. Now, rather than go through all the tech trees and look at these in depth, I'm mainly talking about destroyers because destroyers are what I use, destroyers and frigates, but let's just have a look at what the cruiser types are, so that if you're interested, you can go in and actually have a look at these yourself. Does require a bit of scrolling down, but here we are, heavy assault cruisers. There for the Caldari, you have the Caracal sniper, additional missile torpedo velocity, which is of course the range, reduction to the activation time as well, which is nice because, as I said, you get a 100% increase to the activation time, so it slows it right down. If you're firing every 4 seconds, you'll be firing every 8 seconds in sniper mode, so it does just drop it that little bit in sniper mode there. Then for the Minmatar, it is the Stabber Sniper, which is medium cannons, absolutely incredible ranges possible if you're using medium strike cannons here, easily get over 200 if not 300 kilometers range, which can be utterly insane. Damage is obviously reduced. Omen Sniper for the Amar. This one is medium beam lasers. Again, if you're using the long range ones of these, you can get some truly insane distances with that. Just you're not going to be able to fire particularly frequently. And finally then, the Vexor Sniper, which in my opinion is one of the most insane ships out there. Now, the reason for this, again, this is probably something I would try to do a video on if I can get my hands on one of these. It's a video I'd like to cover, simply because 35% drone DPS, 5% drone velocity is nice enough. Additional 3,000 meters drone control range means your standard drone control range of 20 is already 23. You then have the 75% bonus increased on there. If you're fitting rigs and you've got the drone skill up at full, you can quite comfortably sit at almost 200 kilometers away with drones. It is just mad, and nothing then is getting close with a Vexor Sniper. So maybe, who knows, maybe that's a video I will do at some point in the future. Cool, so that covers basically what the ships are, what they do, and how to use them. So let's undock and actually see one of these bad boys in action, or again, bad girls, it's a ship. Ship's a female. So when you're using a sniper ship, of course, you want to warp in at the absolute maximum range possible. Here you can see I've come in at the 100 kilometer mark. Now my standard missiles, as you saw, are usually at 26.81. If I activate the sniper mode though, you'll see all of the stats come in on the side there to let me know that that has activated. And if I look at the modules now, I'm at 52.59 kilometers. So if I wait for these guys to get that little bit closer, or I start approaching to say the 55 or 60 kilometer mark, about there, if I start to approach, whilst in sniper mode, you'll see I hit a whopping 2 meters per second. So what I want to do is come out of sniper mode briefly. That will allow me then to put the afterburner on and get some significantly faster speeds coming out there. Obviously, you see it has a little bit of a drop down at the moment, a little bit of recharge time. I can now activate back into that there, start firing those missiles from some range, and you'll see that I can do some real damage, although it does now massively slow the flight time and the duration on those. You can see I don't fire nearly as fast as I otherwise would. That is the big downside to sniper. You do ultimately probably want some support with the sniper, simply because things are going to start closing on you remarkably quickly. But again, for fleet engagements, this means you can hide behind your tanks. Things like, say, a Cyclone battlecruiser, or just any other ships that are quite happy taking that damage, and you can pummel away from there. I am going to activate the computer now. This does increase the activation speed a little, but not much, as you can see. Now, as they do start, as here this Gistum rupture does start to get closer, as I said, this is a tier 7 anomaly. This is a fairly tough anomaly to do normally. As this one starts to get closer, I just need to keep an eye on it. Currently, at 39 kilometers, I'm better sitting in sniper mode, but once it hits below about 26 kilometers, at that halfway distance, what I can do is I can deactivate sniper mode, reactivate the afterburner, which I've left on this entire time, and I can shoot away to a safe distance to start sniping again, whilst just doing slightly less damage en route. So it's very slow hitting, as you can see, and that other one there, the Gistum Scythe, is getting nice and close as well. That's going to be into sniper range soon, but the Rupture is just about coming up now towards the halfway point. I'm going to let this volley go off, and then I'm going to come out and move further away, just to showcase. So there goes that volley at the 25 kilometers. I take off the sniper mode. I'm going to now set the approach back up to 50 kilometers, put the afterburner on, so that I can start getting some distance. You'll see the missiles will still fire. I should get another salvo in at the 20 foot, since we're below the 26 kilometer maximum range for them. That should still hit and do some damage, though not as much. But it does allow me to start pulling away and getting some range in, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm also noticing there's some drama going on in the chat at the moment. I do warn people, obviously, I think, that this is someone has come into our system, ignored the warnings, and been blown up. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'm now out of range of my standard missiles, and that 26 is going to be missing the Gistum rupture. So we're just going to keep going. Let's get to the 40 kilometer mark. I think that's a nice, comfortable place to sit at. And now that we're there, we'll go back into the sniper mode, all of those bonuses on there. And hopefully when this fires, that should do some massive damage and go to take out that rupture. And that's it. That's basically what a sniper ship does. It's all about keeping that excessive range, keep well away from your target, and just pound them from a distance. Let's activate that the computer as well, just to finish off this rupture for the end of the video. I'm not going to do the whole anomaly, but as I said, this is a tier 7 anomaly in a tier 6 destroyer. It's a very cheap ship to outfit. If you do lose this, you don't feel like you've lost all that much. So it's worth, in my opinion at least, giving this a try, seeing if sniper ships are something that you might enjoy. So anyway, with one final burst on its way, that's going to take out that rupture. I can then be happy in the knowledge that I've claimed that bounty and head back to station. Obviously, I need to take sniper mode off first, because otherwise I'm never going to reach alignment speed. Never going to reach warp speed, sorry. So let's align, get out of here as quickly as possible. Anyway, folks, that really does cover everything to say about snipers. I hope you've enjoyed this. Maybe it's inspired you to give snipers a try. I do wholeheartedly recommend them. They're great fun, a lot of fun to have to be had with these things, especially with some of those cruisers as well. Me, I love my destroyers, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Anyway, folks, thank you ever so much for watching. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.